Apparently, there has been a big listeria outbreak in the United States, and I feel like no one's talking about it. And we're going to look at what's going on. Before we get into it, make sure to like this video and subscribe to my channel for more health and homesteading content. Let's dive in. And before we do, I want to make sure that we have like a general sense of what my hot take is on health, and that is natural holistic health is the way to go. I'm usually not concerned about any big outbreaks because I cook most of my food at home, I grow most of my own produce, and I've never been in a situation where I've really had to worry about like what is happening at the grocery store. But this one hits a little bit different. And a lot of it has to do with me being 7.5 months pregnant. But let's go ahead and share the article and talk about why this is a different scenario and if you should be concerned or not. I should mention that this is really recent. This just came out in the past week. So we're talking about a very current event here. So as of October 15th, meat supplier Bruce Pack of Durant, Oklahoma is calling 11.8 million pounds of ready-to-eat meat and poultry packet products after routine federal safety teaching testing found that listeria, a potentially deadly bacterium in samples of the company's poultry. The finding triggered an immediate recall, which was first issued on October 9th. But officials are trying to still understand the extent of the contamination. Because we sell to other companies who resell, repackage, or use our products as ingredients in other foods, we do not have a list of retail products that contain our recall items. Well, that's encouraging, isn't it? To know that, like, what we see packaged at the grocery store could very well not even be from where it's saying that it is. But let's continue. Consumers' best chance of determining whether they've purchased any of the affected products is to look through a 342-page list of products identified by the USDA. In other words, just read the fine print, y'all. Just 342 pages of it. I mean, this is why, one of the many reasons why we are in the health epidemic that we are in across the board with so many different issues, not just this particular outbreak of listeria, because it is time consuming and sometimes visually difficult to read the fine print. Where are the people looking out after us? Well, before we just like get all hot and bothered about this, thinking like this is probably really cheap food, you might be surprised to find out that there's some pretty reputable names on this list who have sold some of the recalled products. The unorganized document lists fresh and frozen foods sold at common retailers include 7-Eleven, Aldi, Amazon Fresh, Giant Eagle, Kroger, Target. These are all like standard grocery stores, but what about at what's considered a health food store like Trader Joe's, Walmart, Wegmans? Brand names such as Atkins, Boston Market, Dole, Fresh Express, Jenny Craig, Michelina's, Taylor Farms, and store brands such as Target's Good and Gathered. The recalled products were made between May 31st of 2024 and October 8th of 2024. So this is concerning because it's really not just like the big food chains, the big grocery store names that usually sell the cheap stuff. Trader Joe's is a reputable grocery store. I love purchasing from Trader Joe's. And I feel like sometimes when you purchase from groceries like Trader Joe's or Whole Foods or Sprouts, you get this sense of security, and perhaps it's false security, that you are getting clean food. The alarming recall comes on the heels of a similarly large one for Boar's Head brand meats. This is a separate issue, but recently Boar's Head was called out for a listeria outbreak that sickened 59 people in 19 states and killing at least 10. So far, there have been no illnesses linked to Bruce pack meats, but this is where it gets tricky. Listeria infections can be tricky to identify and link. While most illnesses develop within 2 weeks of an exposure, some can take up to 10 weeks. Given the long time frame, it can be difficult to link the illness to specific foods. Have you or anybody you've known gotten sick lately and you really didn't know why? Well, could it have anything to do with this? Let's read what these symptoms look like. Infections may cause no more than a short-lived intestinal illness, which is unlikely to get diagnosed and reported. But for people aged 65 and older, and those who have compromised immune systems or are pregnant, the infection can be invasive and cause severe illness. For people who are not pregnant, an invasive infection can cause fever, flu-like symptoms, such as muscle aches and fatigue, headache, stiff neck, confusion, loss of balance, and seizures. If you or anybody you know had a seizure or a headache or flu-like symptoms, would you be thinking that it could be listeria? Are we ignoring what could be a cold and could be something a little bit more severe? This is serious, especially for me, considering I'm 7.5 months pregnant, because almost 1 in 6 people die, but during pregnancy, you may not see these symptoms, and instead, it can go directly to the baby and affect miscarriage, stillbirth, premature delivery, and life-threatening infections in newborns, which the only way I would know if I've been infected with listeria is if I tested for it because I haven't had any major symptoms. I'd love to know what you think in the comments. This sort of concern is a major concern for big agriculture, mismanaged, overwhelmed agriculture. But in my situation, I was eating some prosciutto from Aldi, actually, that's on the list, and not thinking twice about it. I wasn't thinking that it was like processed chicken or turkey or anything like that. And this is not the first time this listeria outbreak has happened. It seems like this is actually a reoccurrence. We've seen this in lettuce and other vegetables. And so, at what point as consumers do we stop and say, we demand better? And who are the people looking out for our best interests that are going to be interested in making sure that happens? I'd love to know what you think in the comments. Please make sure to like this video if you found it interesting and subscribe to my channel for more videos on natural health and homesteading. Thank you.